Says, I'm going to be honest with you. This next season you're being called into, it won't look normal. You will be misunderstood. You will be judged. And yes, they may call you crazy. But what if that's exactly how you know you are on the right path? My dear, I feel a strong stirring in my spirit for someone listening. You are being pulled. Everything around you looks the same, but something inside of you is shifting. It's uncomfortable. It's restless. It's divine. And in this episode, I want to help you jump into the water while it's being stirred. If you're ready, let's dive in. Welcome to Awaken Her, the podcast that brings you raw, transformative stories and soul-deep conversations to help you rebuild, renew, and rise into your divine purpose. I'm your host, Aji Michael. And this space is where faith meets purpose, where healing meets boldness, and where women awaken to the power within them to live unapologetically whole. If you are new here, hey sis, welcome to the sisterhood. And if you've been riding with me, I am so glad you're back. Today's episode is one of those that will stir your spirit and stretch your thinking. So, stay close. Grab your pen, grab a journal and your favorite drink, for you are about to go on a ride. But before we dive in, how are you doing? I mean, really, how is your spirit? I've been battling with a cold for the past few days here. And I don't know if you can tell from my voice, it's really had me down. But by God's grace, I'm feeling much better today. Yeah. And I really knew that I had to record this episode because it's burning inside of me for someone who is on the edge of something new. Oh my days. All right. Now, first up, this Sunday is our Spring Business Cafe, and I cannot wait. The theme is doing business as if heaven is backing you, as if the vision is funded, as if it's already done. All the details are in the show notes, so do not miss this. And of course, our first monthly prayer retreat is happening on the first Wednesday of the month, which is next month of April. So mark your calendar down. All the details is in the show notes. It's our sacred space to realign and reset with God. All right. Like I mentioned earlier on, I have a strong sense that we are in a season where the waters are being stirred. Just like in the book of John chapter 5, when the angel will trouble the water and the first person to step in will be healed. All right? That stirring is happening now. But only the brave will jump in. Only the bold will build when the blueprint isn't clear yet. Now, sis, this stirring is spiritual. It's divine timing and it's going to require you to move differently. Now, you cannot walk to this next chapter with old eyes, old strategies, or old fears. Maybe you're listening to this and thinking, I feel the pull, but I don't know where to start. That's it. That's exactly where these scriptures come in. God gave me 3 verses to anchor this message. 3 divine instructions for stepping into exponential possibilities, whether it's in business and in life. Now, each of these scriptures speaks to a part of your journey, your vision, your limitations, and your surrender. Each one carries a key. And when we unlock them, sis, we stop striving and start aligning. So let's break down them, starting with the first one. So I'll say the first instruction is, see, I am doing a new thing. This scripture is in Isaiah 43 verse 19. Now, this isn't about your eyes, what your eyes can see. It's about what your inner eyes can perceive. This scripture is about divine perception, not surface sight in business, in purpose and vision. God is asking, can you sense what I'm doing before it shows up in your bank account? Can you sense what I'm doing before it shows up in your client list or in your schedule? How does this apply to you and I? This is where you begin to trust that intuitive nudge, that idea that won't leave you alone, that pivot you keep avoiding. That's the new thing, sis. Now, you don't need to see the fool's strategy to obey. I want to encourage you to start moving like God is already doing the new thing, even when you don't even see the full result. This is where you stop asking for signs when God is speaking through you, through your inner knowing. I remember a story of a woman who shifted her coaching niche after sensing that God calling her into a space she didn't even feel qualified. And according to her story, within 90 days, she signed multiple clients. And this is simply because she finally aligned with heaven's direction, with heaven's calling. I don't know if this is you. Maybe you feel led to shift your business, change your niche, or speak boldly in your brand. That's the nudge. That's the new thing. Sis, do not ignore it. The second instruction, or maybe the second key, come out of your tent. This scripture is in the book of Genesis, chapter 15, verse 5. God told Abraham to come out of the tent, out of the man-made structure, out of his limited perspective, and look at the sky. Only then could he see the promise. Says, some of us are trying to dream big inside things that were never meant to hold us. I don't know. Maybe your tent might be your job, your circle, your pricing, your website, or even your mindset. Says expansion requires elevation, and elevation demands that you step out. I was reading a story of somebody, and I'm sure many of us, we've heard of these stories before. This woman, she's been draining a 9-to-5 high-profile job, and she had this leading to launch a digital boutique, something that she has kept aside as a side hustle. But again, it aligned with her gifting. Within 6 months, she tripled her annual income. Now, not because she had more resources, no, but because she left the tent. I don't know if this is you. Maybe you've been underpricing your services or staying behind the scene because of fear. Here's the word for you, sis. God is calling you out into visibility, into big vision, into sky-wide possibilities. Here's the third key for this season. Throw down your staff. This is in the book of Exodus chapter 4. Here, God asked Moses to throw down what was familiar. That staff represented Moses' past, his survival, and his identity. Now, but once Moses surrendered it, it became a supernatural tool. Sis, what if your business, your skill, your gift needs to be thrown down and surrendered so that God can repurpose it for something miraculous? Sis, your expertise doesn't need to be thrown away. It only needs to be surrendered. It needs to be surrendered so that God can use it. God is ready to rebrand your gift. You just need to let go of your old thinking. Let go of how you do things. Stop clinging to how you've always done it. Let Him show you a new strategy for supernatural results. This is so close to my heart. my former hairstylist years ago, she surrendered her business. She told me, she said, the Lord told me to start having events in my boutique, in my salon. And she started having just this small gathering for women coming together. Guess what? Her income doubled. But more importantly, her joy returned. Now, I don't know if this is you. Maybe you've built a business around your skill, but God is shifting your voice to become a mentor, a thought leader, a movement. Will you let him transform what's in your hand? Now, sis, let me say this plainly. I have seen exponential breakthroughs happen, not when women waited to be ready, but when they jumped into the steering, when they trusted God with their next, even when the present didn't even make sense. Now, I have lived this. I have built from nothing. I have let go of plans that once defined me. And every time, God met me with more than I imagined. I want to give you 3 activation assignments. 1, ask God, what am I sensing that is being stirred in me? 2, this is where you reflect. What tent am I hiding in that limits how I see my next season? 3, this is about release. What skill, business, or identity do I need to throw down so God can transform it? I want to encourage you to sit on this activation, sit on the asking, spend time reflecting, and spend time in prayer to release your skill, business, or identity that you need to surrender to God so God can transform it. My darling, the stirring has begun and the water is moving. The question is, will you jump? Will you rebuild, renew, and rise, even when it costs your comfort, even when it costs your approval? Because God is doing a new thing and is calling your name. I love you and I'm rooting for you, and I will see you next week. God bless.